What's going on, guys? Let's go ahead, jump right into the topic for today's video. We're going to be talking about Mercari, and we're also going to be talking about Aldi. Yes, Aldi, the small grocery chain franchise, is now carrying Pokemon products. And I've seen a couple Pokemon products there before. That was actually where I ended up buying the Pokemon Oreo case that I sold not too long ago, which I can't even believe I sold that case of Oreos. I'm in absolute disbelief that someone bought expired Pokemon Oreos. But anyways, yeah. So that was the first time that I saw that Aldi was actually carrying something. But now they have C23 tins. Now these tins, they also have mini tins. They have the mini tins that are about yay big. But they have C23 tins. Now this is a similar style. It is the Pokeball style tin. I'm actually keeping this one because it's the actual colors of a regular Pokeball, and I just think it's too cool to let go of. And this one is a D21. So you see on the bottom, you can see it says D21. So the ones that are at Aldi are C23s. Now you can also find the date on the back of these. Like back here, it gives you all the information that you need. Let's see, where does it show 2020? I'm looking for 2020. It talks about Sword and Shield, it talks about Sun and Moon, and it talks about XY, but I can almost guarantee there's only Sword and Shield packs in here. And it says 2020 Pokemon, so I want to see if it'll zoom in on that. You guys should be able to see right here. It says 2020 Pokemon. Don't mind my nasty finger, but I believe that there's Sword and Shield packs inside here, and right now with Sword and Shield being all the rage, someone did mention that they're buying auxiliary products like these Pokeball tins. I will say that they are pretty cool. They are collectible on the front, that they are kind of the design of a Pokeball. I kind of do find that really cool about these tins, but typically the packs get damaged in here, and to be completely transparent, I would not recommend buying these tins, okay? I think these tins are kind of garbage products, but people have had great luck with products like these, so just kind of an update, just like letting you guys know it's out there. If you have an Aldi store near you, this is where we get all of our groceries. We have one like right down the road from us, so it makes perfect sense that we would shop at Aldi mainly, because there's some good deals there, good prices for groceries for the most part, but there's also Pokemon products there right now. So I was very tempted to buy a couple of those tins and open them up on today's video. I think that would have been a lot of fun, and in hindsight, I probably just should have bit the bullet, bought a couple of those tins and opened them. But I have opened at least $10,000 plus of modern products on this channel, and it is just the same old sob story of not really getting the best pull rates, not really having the chase cards that I want, and I always end up just buying them. So I held off on it, and I was actually a responsible adult for once in the last couple of years that I've been collecting Pokemon. And I mean that jokingly, but at the same time, like, I've spent so much money on modern products, especially products just like this, that it's just, I'm burnt out from products like this. For certain people, they're always going to buy products like this because the value is there. But when you are selling items and you realize how hard it is to ship out bulkier stuff like this, now you could argue you could break the tin and sell the packs. There's 3 packs, so technically I could sell the packs as a trio and just put them up for auction and see if anybody wants to auction for the packs. But honestly, not worth the extra effort. I'll definitely consider it in the future, like as maybe a possible play that you can make, right? If each Sword and Shield packs, most of them are worth, if they're the older sets, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, Battle Styles, Evolving Skies, of course, Vivid Voltage. If it's sets like that that are a little bit older at the beginning of Sword and Shield, then you're probably going to have at least $5 a pack there, which means these tins, I think these tins were $5 at Aldi. I don't know if that's right, but I swear to God, like that's the price I saw. It might have been the price for the mini tins. It was probably more like $10 to $12. But yeah, that $5 was probably for the 2-pack mini tins. But even so, if these are $10 to $12 at your local Aldi, they're probably worth grabbing. Anyways, that's the update on Aldi. More importantly, for sellers, for anybody that's out there selling, or if you wanted to go to Aldi, buy these Pokeball tins while you're getting your groceries, and then put them up on Mercari and try and sell them on Mercari. Mercari is now doing 0 sales fees for sellers. Okay, this is huge, guys. I've been on Mercari really before a lot of people were on Mercari, and I'm still using Mercari. I actually just shipped out 2 more decks that I sold on Mercari today. I use eBay for selling mainly singles and high value cards, and just to get my name out there and get exposure. But Mercari is really where I go to list stuff really solely just to sell. So I've had really good luck. I'm now coming close to selling 200 theme decks on Mercari, so I'm really excited for that. But I've got my last couple of items, so soon here I'm going to start having to do videos showing you guys stuff that I'm buying that I plan to sit on or flip down the road. But yeah, I'm really excited that Mercari has 0 seller fees now. That's huge for the platform. If you don't know this, eBay charges 13% as a seller fee. On top of that, you have to figure out shipping, whether you're going to offer free shipping and bite the bullet, or you're going to charge your buyer. But Mercari, I charge shipping on Mercari. I've had no issues selling stuff even while charging shipping. And this is just the cherry on top, because I've sold most of my theme deck collection on Mercari, and I've taken a huge seller fee on Mercari. So this kind of sucks because it's like a little bit too late. Like, I've already done like $25,000 in sales on Mercari, and so it's a little bit too late now that they're doing no sales fees. This could have potentially saved me, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 in sales fees if Mercari didn't have these same fees. But Mercari is now trying to get one leg up on Whatnot, eBay, TikTok. There's a lot of competition out there, and eBay really, TCG player, eBay really is, I think, the big name that most people are going to go to. But what Mercari has that I love about Mercari, and this is not like a sponsored, paid anything. I get frustrated with Mercari just as much as anything else. But I will say their policy of when you get damaged products back, like if you ship something out and you get it back and it's completely destroyed, Mercari, in my experience, I don't know if this will work for everybody, but in my experience, Mercari paid me the value of what was returned and damaged, the value of the listing that I had, and I get to relist that same item to sell and just drop the price because it's in a worse condition. But that's one thing about Mercari that I really love. eBay, I haven't had any issues with eBay yet, but I imagine from what other sellers have told me, the buyer is always right. eBay almost always sides with the buyer. So I don't know how eBay would have handled something that I experienced on Mercari, but I know for a fact that Mercari treated me well with that transaction. So I've had nothing but good experiences on Mercari so far. We did get ripped off when really early on, someone actually stole some cards that we shipped out. But that was like one of the only times that ever happened. And I was mad that Mercari didn't help us in any way. But obviously they've built up the company since then, and I feel like it's doing a little bit better. Obviously they made enough money on Mercari to say, you know what, let's take this to the next level and let's do 0 seller fees. Now, from what I understand, the fee is now the buyer. The buyer pays a premium, and the seller isn't, the seller does not get punished for that. And that kind of makes sense, right? You don't want to punish your buyers, but at the same time, a platform like Mercari or eBay or Whatnot, it relies on the people that are selling these. It relies on the salesmen or the online stores to be putting out products so that they can take a cut. So it makes sense, and it makes sense that they would incentivize sellers and put that fee on the buyer. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the fee entirely has been pushed to the buyer or if it's less than their fee before, but the buyer pays that premium. I haven't quite looked into it yet. It was pressing. I have limited time, and someone let me know that they changed this, as well as I got a message when I sold my items today. Oh, Mercari is now not charging seller fees. And I was just like, dude, this is incredible. This is going to change the game. And I'm also happy about it because a lot of people really didn't care for using Mercari, and now that they're not doing this seller fee, it's very advantageous to be a seller, an active seller on Mercari. I also like the messaging format on Mercari. I don't know, it seems a little bit less formal, a little more friendly. It's kind of like Facebook Marketplace a little bit. So I do like that about Mercari. And just in general, there are some things that Mercari has that eBay doesn't. The whole bundle buying process, somebody can buy multiple things with you. They automatically get bundled as shipping together. So I think that that's kind of cool. As well as, I know I'm probably forgetting something else that's neat about Mercari. What I like about Mercari, and I'm sure that eBay has this, but I haven't seen it so far. Maybe other people have seen it and they can talk on this, but Mercari has a QR code that when you charge your buyer shipping, if you ship yourself, you deal with it yourself. So I highly recommend just charging the buyer shipping, because if you do that, a QR code will populate based on the weight, and then basically, instead of having to buy labels and have a label printer, Mercari is an app that literally anybody can use. Now, I have had the QR codes fail on me in the past, so I'm very happy that I have the label printer, because if stuff goes awry, you should at least have a printer or a label printer. But Mercari is unique because even if you don't have a label printer at all on Mercari, you can easily get your item, package it up nicely. I like to use bubble wrap on a lot of my stuff. I kept tons of boxes and bubble wrap that I had accumulated from all of my collection buying the past few years, and now I'm starting to pretty much use up all of that packaging. So that's pretty cool because I'm recycling all that. Anyways, going off on tangents and being as ADD as possible, basically you get your item, you throw it in some bubble wrap, package it up nicely, throw some extra goodies in there, put it in a box, tape it up, you're done. From there, you go to the post office, you show them your QR code that populates from the app, they scan it, boom, slap a label on there, scan your label, you're good to go. Mercari is, in my opinion, more user-friendly than eBay. No doubt about that, in my opinion. It's fact for me. I prefer and have preferred Mercari over eBay since I started it, but my fiance Diana was like, why don't you get on eBay? Like, you could get some exposure. More people would see your collection, even if you're not wanting to sell it or drop your prices. So eBay was more of like a social media move for me, more than it was like an aspiration of being a big eBay seller. But that was in the beginning. Now I take it a little more seriously, and I see that both have their pros and cons. eBay is really cool because it's where I can sell singles very easily, and I can just do tons of auctions, whereas Mercari is like specific items that are very niche for me, which for me are, I collect the decks. I like old vintage theme decks. And that's a personal thing, right? What works for me might not work for you, but that's what I like. And it's easy for me to do it over and over again because I genuinely like collecting theme decks and I like looking at different variations. There are some extra copies that I have that I haven't sold because one has like a KB Toys sticker, or one has a Blockbuster sticker on the back, or just a cool funky, Super Saver sticker on it. Like, just, I collect decks because I like to find variations and things, and also I like to hunt for shadowless decks, and also I just am hell-bent on owning every single vintage Wizards of the Coast theme deck. So that's just something that I like to collect, and so in collecting that as a passion of mine, that's what the first thing that I started selling on Mercari. And after the first couple of sales, I was like, okay, I clearly have something that's working here. And so that's my whole Mercari story. But anyways, guys, it's very exciting. They've dropped the fees. Anybody can log on and start their Mercari. It's super easy. I highly recommend it, especially if you're already doing eBay. Just the fact of the fees alone is huge. Now, would I recommend this for like high value items and high value graded Pokemon cards and slabs, sealed products? Probably not. I probably would not recommend it. Even my nicest theme decks, I would rather sell on eBay because I think there's a little more protection and a little better customer service on eBay. That's one thing I will say about Mercari, is the customer service is lacking. So if someone is trying to be malicious and do something to screw you over in any way, Mercari, you have to really pound the pavement with Mercari. Like, you have to send them lots of messages for them to get it that, like, they need to resolve something. And for the most part, they will. But eBay, it's usually like, you can get someone on the phone with you on eBay immediately and resolve something, whether it's getting screwed over on a sale, tracking not updating, a seller leaving you bad feedback. eBay is the type of place where they'll pretty much work with you on anything immediately. So I think the customer service on eBay is pretty good in comparison to Mercari. But I like Mercari, and I think that this is huge news, especially for me. This is going to be more money in my pocket, more money for my family, more money I have for groceries. Like literally today, we spent the 2 decks that I sold. I sold an EX Sandstorm deck, and I sold a Gym Heroes Lieutenant Surge deck. And those 2 sales pretty much paid for our groceries. And then I got to keep a little extra because now I'm not having to pay fees on all the stuff that I sell. So I'm already happy because I'm already experiencing getting the full payout essentially. Well, I haven't been paid yet. It takes a while for it has to. Okay, I should talk about this before I end the video actually and clarify. eBay is nice because eBay does take a hit on the fees, but they pay you immediately pretty much. You can even set it up to get paid instantly on eBay. I haven't set that up just because I just don't care to. I'm too lazy. But on Mercari, it's totally different. On Mercari, you have to ship out. It has to arrive. Then they give an extra 3 days for your buyer to rate the transaction. And if they don't rate it, they'll auto rate it for you. But guys, that can be a lot of time. Your item could take a week to get to its destination. Then it might take the buyer 3 days. They never rate it. They might not even open it, or they might open it and just not care to rate you, right? They're not going to be forced to rate you. If they want to rate you, they can, or Mercari automatically does it in auto 5 stars. The only issue with that is that I don't think it can be edited. It might be able to be edited, but if they give you 5 stars, they don't like leave a review or say anything nice about, how you packaged it or what you throw in there. So that is one thing with Mercari, that it's going to take at least a week and 3 days maximum. So that's 10 days to get a payout. So, and I just remembered what I was going to say now. So yeah, they should drop seller fees because it's really inconveniencing the seller who's selling on Mercari. I don't mind it because I've been dealing with Mercari for a while now, and I tend to have really great luck selling on Mercari. And I have a ton of following and reviews on Mercari, so that has helped me a ton. But the last thing is that Mercari also changed another thing. Now you have to spend money to transfer your funds. Now, granted, this could be really inconveniencing if you make 50 bucks or 40 bucks and it costs you now a minimum of $2 to transfer. So Mercari is probably trying to figure out a different loophole where they can milk people for money. But in my opinion, this is a better way to do it. Charge no fee to the seller, a fee to the buyer, and then the seller has to pay to transfer any funds over, which Mercari gets paid for. So it's $2 to do a direct deposit and you wait a couple days, but it's $3 to do an instant deposit, which obviously after 10 days of waiting, or even 5 or 6 days of waiting, you're going to want to do that instant deposit. But they kind of make it easier to just do an instant deposit because it used to be that direct deposits on Mercari were free. It was free to do a direct deposit, but it was $3 to do an instant deposit. But now it's just $3 to do the instant deposit and $2 if you want to wait a couple days and save $1, which to me isn't really worth it. If you're only saving $1, you might as well instant deposit it. You're not paying fees, which is where most of the money is. And this works even better if you have a large amount of money sitting in Mercari. So Mercari, the funds don't transfer immediately the way they do on eBay. Maybe that's just how I have mine set up. On eBay, it auto transfers. As soon as I make sales, that money goes to my account. And there's like a schedule. Every 3 days, it goes to my account. On Mercari, you can let your money pile up in Mercari, which I'm sure they use to their advantage because that money is still in their system and they can probably invest with it, have it creating interest, make money on your money. These platforms are kind of like banks in a way. Like there's money coming in and money going out, and when money sits, they're definitely using it in some way, I'm sure. But and you can correct me on that. I'm not a guru on this stuff. I'm just, hypothesizing and speculating. If basically this makes the most sense if you're willing to like wait, save up all of your sales, and then you have like $500 or $600 cash from the sales you made, and then you transfer all of that instantly for $3. And then you're not doing 50 to 100 bucks, 50 to 100 bucks, $2, $2 every time you want to direct deposit it. Anyways, that's my little rant. Wanted to keep it a short video. I'm just excited for people who want to sell, or really if you want to sell anything, forget Pokemon cards. Mercari is great. I've sold random stuff on Mercari and eBay. Phones, bags, random items. You can sell anything on there. So this is just great in general for giving people a little bit more power to sell stuff online or have an e-store. Anyways, Peace out, guys. That was my video. Let me know what you think. 0 seller fees on Mercari. This is huge. Also, don't forget C23 tins at Aldi with Sword and Shield packs. Anyways, peace out, guys.